Good morning, YouTube. This is David, the Georgia photographer. Today, I'm in downtown Chattanooga, and I happen to have the 56mm f1.2 Fujinon lens now. So, let's go do some street photography. Actually, before we get started, I just want to let you know that it's July 18th, 2020. I've kind of started a photo project that I'm really gonna actually engage starting in August. So I just might go to one video a week for the next year so I can devote some time to my photo project, because I'm starting to struggle even in the preliminary stages with getting basically enough time to make 2 videos a week, edit them, upload them, yada yada yada, and work on my project. My project's kind of hit the back burner about 6 or 7 times now because of it. And so if you start seeing just videos on the Saturday and the streams, that's probably why. And if you guys want to reach out to me and talk about it, I'm good with it. I don't mind a bit. I just wanted to get that out of the way. And by the way, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe right down there. First stop though is Pete's Coffee. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee and some kind of a little pastry for breakfast. Have that, and then we'll get started on the street photography. This little alley connects Market Street and Chestnut and Broad, my bad. This little alley connects Chestnut and Broad to where it's a pass-through between them behind the Reed House. This is the Reed House right here, and this is too. Yeah, they've made this little sitting area back here. It's been here for a long time. A lot of people come back here and smoke and things like that, you know. Matter of fact, there's a cigar on that table for some reason. But it's a place where I can sit down and enjoy my cup of coffee by myself. Because now Hamilton County, and I think the state of Tennessee, not real sure, but they have a mandatory mask order. That's hence the scarf. It's my mask. That way I don't have to dig it out of my pocket every time I want to put it on. Okay, I finished my cup of coffee in the alley behind the Reed House. It's right there. So what I've got is down the street, 2 blocks out, is 3 bicycles coming. And I'm going to do my best to set up a panning blur when they pass by right here, because I'm pretty sure they're going to go down this street. Hopefully I got the shot. I'm trying not to look at my display too much today, because it makes you look away from the world around you, and it unfortunately makes you miss photos. Squirrel! Squirrel's hilarious. I was like 4 feet away with my camera, and he just was wallering in the dirt. He's digging up, looks like he's digging up something he'd buried, but it's kind of cute. People ask me why I shoot such long focal lengths when I shoot my XT3 doing street, and it's mainly because the roads are so wide in downtown that everybody's spread way out. So if I shoot, you know, the 23, which would be like a 35mm full frame lens, if I shoot a lens that wide, everybody's these little tiny ants in the frame, and you just can't see anything, and it doesn't build good context. So now I've learned that if I shoot, you know, 55, 50, somewhere in there, this was a 56mm I'm shooting with today, it worked out to about 85mm focal length, and it's about right. There's a little bit, sometimes they're a little far away, but for the most part, I've learned to work with it to the point to where that's my preferred focal length. All right, I found the shot that I've set up and I'm waiting on. I'm trying to I'm gonna wait here probably 5 or 10 minutes, see if I can get a second person to walk through it. The first one I underexposed them terribly because I let the camera choose the exposure, so I've bumped up the exposure compensation to where the frame's a little better illuminated now. Plus there's some reflections off the building behind me that's kicking back over here and filling it in a little. But I've got this mural, this girl with the hula hoop, and it works out that if I shoot from a lower angle, then she's looking straight down at whoever she walks or whoever walks under her, and so it kind of gives you that perspective. Around the corner there's another one of a little boy, but it doesn't work as well as this one does. This one, she's holding her hands up like she's moving her hands out of the way so somebody can walk by. It's kind of cool. All right, I'm on the roof of the parking garage next to the EPD building, the Chattanooga Electric Power Board, EPD. And I was hoping to see if I could find a elevated position to get a really interesting photo while I was up here. And there's one lookout mountain across the top of the buildings, but I think I'm too tight of a lens for that kind of a photo. So I'm gonna walk around the rooftop here and along the edges and see what I can see. And then if I don't see anything super interesting, I'm just gonna head back down. There's those buildings. Yeah, I'll get a few photos while I'm here. Well, went in the cigar shop and got me a couple of cigars. Talked to the guy that works there for a while, got his portrait. He's a real friendly guy. He's got a real nice set of Nikon camera and lenses. If I could just get him out and go shoot with them. Maybe I can talk him into it one day. Whew, I've got about 10 minutes to cross about 6 blocks back to the truck. And I've walked all the way to the top of the stairwell to get a photo down the street, and there's no cars in the street except for the ones parked on the side. In the middle of the day. It goes along with the theme. My theme today is elevated photos. So here's my photos for my set today. See what y'all think. But now every time I go out, I try to come up with a theme when I go shooting instead of just taking random photos. I wish there's a bunch of in this one too. Today has been testing of the 56mm f1.2, as well as just doing some general street photography. Just in time. Got back. All right. I went for a walk with the new 56mm f1.2 Fujinon lens. You know, this is the first Fujinon lens I've bought since I bought the camera and kit lens combo, and I actually like it a lot. Now, I waited about getting this for 2 reasons. One was I kind of wanted to see what focal length I really liked using when I just get out and do general photography. And 2 was I just didn't want to do a rash purchase and purchase the biggest glass possible without knowing whether or not it was actually going to be beneficial. Well, the XT3, its low light performance ain't that great. So because of that, over time I've learned that I shoot a lot of large aperture glass to make up for it. And by doing that, it gives me, lower ISO, so my images aren't quite as blurry. After doing that analysis, I've come to conclude that the 56.2 is a better choice over like the 50 f2 or whatever, because of so much more light that it lets in when you shoot it wide open. So at dusk or low light conditions or indoors, like where I took the photos of the guy in the cigar shop, as you can see, his portrait turned out good because I shot it at f1.2, and I don't remember the rest of the settings. They're saved in the exit data. They'll populate. Anyway, point being is it gives me the light I need to shoot in low light conditions, and supposedly there's an f1.0 50mm coming. That'll be sweet. That was the reason I wanted to wait about buying Fujinon glass, because when I first got the XT3, I was about to buy that 50 to 140 f2.8 and the 16 f1.4 and a whole bunch of expensive lenses, and come to find out I really shouldn't have, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I waited a while before getting the one that I figured I wanted, because now I know for sure I'm going to use this lens. I like this lens a lot. So with that, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and I appreciate you watching. And then if you haven't done it yet, I appreciate that thumbs up. Until next time, get your camera out. Go take a picture with it, all right? We'll see you later.